I want to take you down memory lane. Yes, memory lane. About black and white TV. Yes, black and white TV. When black and white TV was king. The Learning Journey in association with Turn It Up Tuesday, hosted by Ross Audio, presents Did You Know? And this week we will look and explore the black and white TV in the community, that is. Now, many of you might never have heard about a black and white TV or have never seen one in operation. But let me tell you, the black and white TV was king in my community. I remember the arrival of the black and white TV, and boy, it did set the stage for entertainment. Now before that, I used to listen to the radio hard. Everything on the radio. And as a boy, I remember Mortimer Simmons, I remember Dulcimina, and I remember all the radio stations that were in Jamaica at that point in time. And let me say, there were very few. I remember having to tune into BBC, and we would try to find the station on shortwave just to get some entertainment. Boy, that was some time, you know. It was really sweet. It was like you were exploring to find a gem. Now that was just to have some entertainment. And sometimes the radio wave would come in and you'd hear one word and then you hear some noise and then it would shh and say another word. But guess what? You hope that you could have some entertainment. So when the black and white TV arrived in Jamaica, in my district, I was happy. Yes, because I heard about this little box. Yes, this little box. And if you watch the box, you would see people moving. And yes, all these things. And guess what? You would know those who have the black and white TV, you know, because they would have a big antenna that extend upon the house top. Yes, and that was a symbol that you had money in the community. Back then, we just had the radio. So when the black and white TV came, people were somewhat feeling good about themselves owning one. And let me say, those who had kind of shared it because it was a status. If you had a black and white TV, it meant a lot for you. It means that you arrive. It means that you're okay. And with a black and white TV, you might just have an Oxford motor car in the yard to top it up. You see what I'm saying? Both of them seem to have gone hand in hand at some stage. When you had the black and white TV and it was in the yard, a lot of people would come into the yard and have conversations with you because you're a man of knowledge now. You saw it on the news last night and you say, yes, according to the news, they said this and that. And you felt as if you were a person of authority. That's how some individuals felt back in those days, because guess what? They had the news at their fingertips. And sometimes, if you wanted to have a conversation with them and watch their TV, you'd say, Master Joe, how is everything? I heard on the news such and such. And he said, yes, I'm going to watch the 7 o'clock news. You know, come join me. And you can watch it through the louver window on the veranda, you know. So guess what? You pull up yourself. And little boys and girls were curious about the black and white TV. Many of them were barefooted. And as they're about to step on the veranda, that was red oak veranda, polished in that sense, someone would say, hold it. Go wash your foot at the standpipe before you come step on the veranda. A red oak finish will not look good when you have these footprints located all around. You'd wash off your foot at the standpipe, come in, brush off, and then you'd try to step on a little piece of mat on the veranda and then step in to peep where you can. As a matter of fact, it was very crowded. And of course, everyone was waiting for the news and they watched. They watched and felt good about it. And of course, when you saw the adverts coming in, you'd say, wow. Of course, Jamaica had its adverts, but most of the adverts on the television back then seemed to come from a foreign land. And when you look at it, you say you want to go to that place because if foreign looks so pretty on black and white TV, you must want to go there. So a lot of people inspire themselves. If foreign looks so good on black and white, I can't wait to go to foreign. No, the black and white TV was exceptional because you know what? I remembered when Muhammad Ali was fighting and everybody in the neighborhood came to that one yard to watch that fight. If you're privileged or a man in the society or a pastor, you could come into the person's house. Of course, they offer you some tea, you sit down and you sip your tea while the other local individuals are watching through windows and keyholes. So the pastor would sit down, man, and everyone would be there watching the fight. And I remember one situation when Muhammad Ali had the man to the ring, man, and he was giving it to him, it was like I were in a stadium. Everyone was saying, lick him, Muhammad Ali, lick him. And when Muhammad Ali knocked the man out, it was like pandemonium in the stadium. But it was just a yard. Everyone was having fun. And by that time, night was already upon us, and we walked to our house feeling good with our little lights or none at all, and back into our beds, because guess what? Muhammad Ali was the winner that night. And of course, the following morning, everyone would talk about what happened on the black and white TV and how they were privileged to watch it on Mass Tom's TV. But the black and white TV was something special. If you wanted to tune it, you had to put a lot of contrast and you had to be an expert. Some people would call people from over yonder to come and tune their TV. I remember so many things about people just trying to get the best image and to remove all the rice grains from the television screen, you know, because that time reception was not good in Jamaica. And of course, we had one dominant station who was struggling to keep up with the demand of the locals. Yes, black and white TV made its debut in Jamaica. Now, the story is real. I had a friend. The friend would say the father would sit and watch the television, and when it signed off, he was still watching the television. Yeah, watching in quotations. No, he was not really watching. He had fallen asleep. So my friend said he would tiptoe and just turn off the television knowing that his father was snoring. And the father would say, boy, you disrespect me again. And he would stamp his feet and go to his bed. Yes, that became a common practice even when color television came in. But do you know, with the arrival of the color television, many people refused to give up the black and white TV. They said it looked more pretty, or prettier according to them. And they said they can't give up the black and white TV because it was their entertainment, their companion. And guess what? They don't think color TV is going to work out. So it took a long time for some people to really get a color TV, not to mention the expense. Yes, it was expensive. So some people prefer watch the old black and white TV and still buy the black and white TV that was going out of style to ensure that they had something to watch. And boy, they did watch it. They watched the World Cup on it. They watched so many things on that. You know, it was entertainment. There was also a time when children came together in the community and gathered at the house that had the TV. Yes, the black and white TV. They had fun. They watched Ring Ding with Miss Lou and other things. And let me also state that there was also a time when the TV signed off. And that was roughly around 12 o'clock. You knew it was coming when you saw the credits being scrolled on the television screen. And soon you'd hear the national anthem. And as you hear the national anthem, you wondered if you could stay and see more. And then those bars, those black and white bars. And the following day, people would gather around to see when the TV would start again. Yes, the black and white TV. It had a schedule, and the schedule was short. Today, it's 24/7. As I remember the black and white TV, I feel good about it because it was a time when people came together. They came together to entertain themselves and to be informed. It was a time when people sat in communities and they gathered around and not just talk about the events that happened on the TV, but talk about things that went on in the world and how to make the world a better place. Today, when we look around, we have so many television sets and so many brands. But it seems as if the togetherness is not there as you watch your television. Because as you watch your television, you might see other people scrolling their phones. Many of them have decided their phones are more important than watching that television with a set of people. In another context, we see where the younger generation has gravitated more towards their mobile devices. I still would prefer to have my black and white TV than a colored TV and still have the companionship and the togetherness as I did back in those days. Yes, the black and white TV Rossi was king. Over to you, Rossi.